Screw it. We're going to go live right now. Welcome to MAPP Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we are back for another MAPP Live Weekly. I'm going to wait. I just hit the live button, so we got to wait a few seconds for people to pile in. We're going to be discussing, and I'm talking right now for people who are going to rewatch this as it's uploaded, but we're going to be discussing The Walking Dead primarily because that's the hot topic now with the trailer for Season 9 coming out. So a big part of the topic I think that we're going to discuss, or I feel like, is should the fans leave with Rick Grimes? Or not should the fans, but will the fans leave when Rick Grimes leaves? Because I have to admit, there is a part of me that's just so excited for the trailer and what we saw and the whispers. I'm so excited for the storyline. I read it years ago in the comic book, and it's as soon as I read it, it instantly became one of my favorites. But now I'm just thinking, knowing that Rick is gone and knowing it's confirmed, it is also... it's like bittersweet. It is just a hit in the gut, and it's sucking so much of that excitement out of there. But I'm still fighting it. I'm still like, well, there's always a chance that writers can pull something off. You know what I'm saying? But the show has a certain charisma that's so entangled around Rick Grimes. I feel like you can do it. You can phase him out. But it would take longer than a few episodes in the coming season. Like, if you were going to phase him out, we should have started seeing that phase in season 7. You know what I'm saying? And not just like, oh, Rick isn't in as many episodes. That's not at all what I'm talking about. Well, what I'm talking about is the story dynamic and who it revolves around. It still felt like it was heavily a Rick story, and then in season 9 we would see that slow phase because he's not going to stick around forever. And then by the close of season 9, you would really see that season 10 is going to see the exit of Rick. Season 10 or 11 or 12, possibly even as high as that, you know. Vigilant Stoner said, I'll bitch about it, but no way I'll stop watching. I can't see myself stopping, you know what I'm saying, totally, unless, of course, it's a heavy blow. I've said it before in the past that if you killed Rick Grimes, like, as I said it, right now in the middle of the Negan story, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because it hurts the storytelling so much. And I'm afraid that even when I see Rick die on screen or finish his story in season 9, part of me is afraid I'm going to be like, yeah, you know what? Nah, I can't go on because the story's going to be hurt so much. There was only one other show, I think. Matter of fact, 2 other shows. This is a good thing to add to the topic. There was 2 shows that had important characters killed, and it for me, it ruined my experience with the show, my enjoyment with the show. One of them was Boardwalk Empire. They had such a great character, and in season 2 that character died, and I didn't even pick up the next season until we were in season 5, and I finally said, okay, let me go back to it, because I felt like that life was cut too short and it would hurt the storytelling and the other characters and yada yada yada. I went back and rewatched Boardwalk Empire season 5, and I still feel like there's parts I really, really enjoy, but they killed the guy off way too quick. I was like, nah, it hurt the storytelling overall in a big way, I felt. Same thing with Sons of Anarchy. That's another one that there's a certain character I loved named Opie, and when he died, I quit. I quit Sons of Anarchy on the spot. And then a few weeks later, because that was my shit, yo. I was watching it live on TV all the time, and when he died, I quit. And then a few weeks later, I said, let me give him a shot, because I read an interview where Kurt Sutter said, because of that death, it's going to push the main character into a direction where I couldn't have gone that direction without doing that. And then afterwards, in retrospect, I see what he was going for, and I really love the path that the main character took as a direct result from his best friend dying. However, there's still a huge gaping hole, a huge void. Even now, when I rewatch it, I'm thinking, I was so looking forward to Jax and Opie, the VP and the president and the vice president, and we didn't get that. I was so looking forward to Opie being there for the full circle of Clay's story and the closure there, and we didn't get any of that either. We were robbed by so much setup. I just couldn't. I couldn't come to terms with it, and I still feel that you could have killed a couple of different characters in that scenario, and I didn't want any of them to die. There was Tig, there was the guy with the scar, I'm forgetting his name, Chibs or something. It's been a while, but you could have killed any of them, and Jax would have went off his shit. But regardless, my point is there is a huge chance to really damage a show by taking a certain character out too early. I strongly believe that every character can be written out. Every single character, because there's always a good story that can be told. There's always a good story that can be told. It's a matter of if you get it right or if you don't. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I'm really, really hoping that they can get it right with The Walking Dead. And we do introduce new characters, and we still cling on to some older ones and then progress the story forward. Obviously, there will be a void with some of our favorite characters going, possibly Rick and Maggie being the biggest, but also there's more deaths coming with the Whispers. I don't think it would be just those two. And it doesn't even look like they're gonna be around for the Whispers. So let me slide the chat over a little bit and see what some of you guys have to say. So anyway, that was my little intro ramble about just past experiences with TV shows and things like that, killing characters off and how it impacts the storytelling. So like Sopranos, for example, I strongly believe if you killed, Tony Soprano in season 3, I probably would have stopped watching immediately, even though all the supporting cast is crucial. I mean, Paulie and Sil, everyone is so crucial, so fun, and so enjoyable. That whole crew, Chris, and the whole lot, I think, what's her name? Andrea. It's been years since I watched that show too, but I still remember some of them, but I'm forgetting some names. Like, the whole crew is crucial, and even when you lose one of them and stuff like that, it's I don't know, it's so hard to explain. It's like you have Tony and you have his group, and it's so enjoyable when they're around, but if you let's say you kill one in his group, and it's like, ooh, that was a punch in the gut. But if you took Tony out of the mix, even though the supporting cast is still so enjoyable and so fun, it takes something. It takes like an ingredient out of the meal you're making, and it just doesn't taste the same. It just doesn't have that same potency and the same, you know what I mean? Anyway, Michael said, I never got over Shane's death. See, I was good with Shane's death. I liked what they did with Shane. I really liked what they did with Shane. And he had 2 straight seasons too, and he felt like one of those side characters that really wasn't going to last because of the conflict with Lori. That's not going to linger forever. So, and again, I really miss John Bernthal, but I follow his career on everything he does now. Speaking of John Bernthal, let me say this, and then we'll get back to the comments. I watched a movie that I'm going to highly recommend. I may even do a separate mini video on it just to put it out there, because I want to start doing that when I watch something or hear about something that is, I can just put my stamp of approval and say that was enjoyable. I want to be able to do that. But it's an older movie by a few years, I think, maybe not even that old. It's called Wind River, and it has Jeremy Renner, Julia Jones, and the girl who was in the Marvel movies, and she plays the girl with Vision. I'm not big on Marvel, you know what I mean? But what's her name? She's gorgeous. And I think she was in Game of Thrones too. I'm almost positive. But she was the one who was with Vision. She was in this as well. She was an FBI agent. Jeremy Renner was a hunter, like a tracker, got coyotes off of farms and stuff like that. And the soundtrack was probably one of the absolutely most epic and beautiful soundtracks I've remember hearing like stand out when you're hearing the soundtrack. You feel like you're about to witness something just incredible. Now, the story itself is beautifully shot. Like I said, the soundtrack, the acting, the performances are incredible. The tension, the filming, there's a few gunfights. The way they film it, and John Bernthal's in it. Shane is in it. He has a small role, but it's badass, and it was a surprise. He's not one of those characters that's right in the beginning, but after a little bit, his character pops up, and you're like, oh shit, there's Shane, okay. And I was expecting him to be the bad guy. But that story went a little different than I expected. But anyhow, I definitely recommend that. Go watch that. I don't know how I got sidetracked, and one of my new favorites too is, what's her name? Julia Jones. I think she's Native American, or at least she looks Native American, and I believe she plays a character that's supposed to be Native American, and she instantly became my reference for a character I have codenamed Crow for Doomsday Kingdom. I took a couple images off of IMDb of this Julia Jones actress, and I sent them over to the artist, and I was like, that is Crow. That's the face I was envisioning, and I seen her on the Wind River, and I was like, oh my god, that's her. Anyway, hey everyone, Andrew, yeah. Ronnie, I'm watching Sons of Anarchy right now. I'm on the last season. I miss Opie. I actually cried when he died. Oh, I was heated. Justin says you feel like Rick dies slowly, and he starts losing his mind, and that could be done in such a sad way. Yeah, it could be slow, I'm sure. Opie's one of my favorite TV characters. My question is, how's it going to come full circle for this iconic TV character, but also being organically incorporated into the present storyline? You know what I mean? Hey, Ronnie, did you see the Commonwealth confirmed in the season 9 trailer? No, Matt Perry. That is just a Commonwealth. For anyone who doesn't know, and forgive me, I don't mean to sound like a dick, like, you don't know, you're an idiot. I'm only saying this because I was born and raised in a Commonwealth state. I was born in Pennsylvania. It's a Commonwealth state. And I'm only saying this because before I was ever arrested for anything, I didn't know Commonwealth, like that never came up. They didn't teach us that in school. If they did, I skipped class on that day, but it never came up as anything important. But when you're arrested for I would imagine pretty much anything, it will come up. You'll hear lawyers talk about, well, this is a Commonwealth state, so you have charges and what you can get punished for is different and yada, yada, yada. I don't know how that comes up, you know what I'm saying, or what even is the point of that, because I just know mine was, DUI and drug charge or something from a long time ago. So because it was Commonwealth, there was other shit in there. That's the only reason I know that there's Commonwealth of this, Commonwealth of that. So it's a common thing. If they're in the Commonwealth of Virginia, that sign's gonna be around. You'll have banners and this. I think it was on the windmill in or near the town or close to wherever they are. That's not the Commonwealth. That's not the community of the Commonwealth. We have in the United States, we have states that are Commonwealth states. And again, I don't even remember all the specifics. All I remember is when I was running around being a little idiot, that would come up. And I do believe that's all that sign was. I put it in my video. I don't believe that's the Commonwealth. Again, I could be totally wrong. I think that is just a setup or maybe an Easter egg. And they film stuff because we're going to pick it apart. And I think they purposefully put that in there knowing fans would run with it and get excited. And, we're here talking about it. But I don't know what you're saying. Joshua Stanford said, I will continue to watch. I feel like it's a drama, more about humanity and their troubles in these situations. I love Negan and Rick. Really like the tone of the trailer. Yeah, the tone of the trailer was great. I loved it. Thank you, Greg. Karen, season 9 sounds exciting, even if Rick dies. Can't believe I'm saying that because the show is that good. They have really hyped this season as the best yet, which is exciting. I tell you what, Elizabeth Olsen, that's her. Yeah, this season does look really exciting. Elizabeth Olsen, yeah. She's got some serious range, too. When do you see Tara dying finally? You know what? Tara's a tricky one. I'm going to say I kind of feel like there's a chance she might die in season 9, but I want to see what kind of direction they're going, because she might be a character they'll keep around for a little bit. Stank Nugget said, Ronnie, my sources tell me Rick is going off into space to fight aliens. Oh, that's great. Your sources are apparently as pretty good as mine are. Where's the Kyle B, $4.99 super chat support? Thank you very much for the dono, homie. I'm going to take Rick's death as the end of The Walking Dead, but still watch. Everything after will be a new show for me. I kind of feel like I'm going to do that too, to be honest. You know, there's going to be like the Rick Walking Dead, and then there's going to be the continuation of the Community. Like I said, there's always a way to write it. But I don't know how they're going to do it with all the setup they need to do for the new beginning. I don't know how they're going to get everything in there. I don't know. Emperor Swaggins, $10 super chat support. Thank you very much for the $10 dono. Andrew Lincoln was talking about his haircut during Comic-Con, and he said by episode 6, it turns out to be a nice haircut. So I strongly believe he will be killed off during the mid-season finale. During the mid-season finale? Wait, I don't understand what I just read, to be honest. Andrew Lincoln was talking about his haircut, right? During Comic-Con, he said by episode 6. So the mid-season finale is episode 8. By episode 6, it turns out to be a nice haircut. So I strongly believe he will be killed off during the mid-season finale. Well, The Walking Dead is notorious for doing that. And if, let's just say, if the rumors are true that he's only in 6 episodes, but it's reported he only filmed 5 episodes, then yeah, I'll agree to that. Let's say the first 5 episodes he's in there, and you know he dies in the mid-season finale. They always do that shit, you know, with the mid-season finales, which I hope they don't, because that's a structure they got to start breaking. You know what I mean? It's becoming a meme. It's been a meme. It's a dead meme that The Walking Dead, you can watch episode 1, 8, 9, and 16, and you know the whole story, because they save only the most important stuff and who dies in those episodes. And for the most part, yeah, that's dead on accurate, you know? Luca Blight with a $10 super chat support. Well, thank you very much, Luca, for the support. Not even bothering with season 9. I'll keep up with the comics, but no Rick, no Maggie. I am out. Well, don't you want to continue watching to see, you know, how they finish? I don't know about that. Even if I was going to leave, I'd have to at least watch them finish. Hey, Ronnie, did you see? All right. Hold on. What did I do there? I scrolled all the way up somehow. Mega Dr. Dre with a $2 super chat support. Will Daryl be the last man standing? I think it's possible, more possible now. You know what I mean? If it is confirmed true that they paid him all that money, yeah, he's got to be. If they're investing in him like that, yep, Beth was right. And that's something I never thought I'd say. Beth was definitely right. Daryl's going to be the last man standing. Beowulf 20. Well, here's the thing. Let me be honest with you right now. Daryl loves working on the Walking Dead. He said that back in like season 4. If they were going to kill him off, he'd burn the trailer down and he would go nuts. But then you hear other stuff like he is best friends with Andrew Lincoln. They talk every day. You know, after breakfast, during breakfast, you know, they'll call each other first thing in the morning. They'll call each other and talk to each other about the show and life when they're coming home, when they're done with the filming day, and they are tight. You know, they're best buds. If Andrew Lincoln is leaving, and if others are leaving, and if the dynamic is shifting, then this environment, this atmosphere that Norman Reedus is so fond of and he loves, it might shift as well. And it might not be like the glory days like it was in the past, especially with someone as good of a friend as Andrew Lincoln leaving. He has Jeffrey Dean Morgan there, but let's just say, you know, a couple years go by and more people leave and the feeling's just a little off and things behind the scenes are just nothing like it was. He might not be the last man standing. It might get to a point where Daryl's going to be the next big one to go. You know, so I don't know. I think it could be either or, but if it is true that they're paying him all that money, I think he should be around for a couple seasons at least. Second half is going to feel empty and weird without Rick. Yeah, I agree to that. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I can see that. Matt Perry, how do you feel when people say no character is bigger than the story when talking about Rick leaving, considering it basically is Rick's story for the comic and show? If I could be honest, there's two things I want to touch on. I don't think there's any ever definites with certain things. Like, obviously, the world, the environment, if you do the right world building, the world building can be big enough to where, yeah, that is true. But let's go to my first thing. Saying no character is bigger than the story it's a humble way for him to say, he's other people he cares about that's on the cast and crew. He wants them to still have a job. He wants them to do good. He wants yada, yada, yada. And he's being humble about it. So in a way, it's like, if you're a huge fan of The Walking Dead, huge fan of this journey with Rick, when he's leaving and you hear those words, there's no bigger, no one character is bigger than the story. You're like, no, that you are the story. You know what I mean? Everything revolves around you. So to one extent, I don't agree with that. But then to another extent, if you do the world building good enough and you have other characters, other interesting stories to tell, then yeah, you can tell other stories in the world of The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little 50-50 on that one. I do feel heavily that that's something that is said because they want it to continue. They don't want to just be like, well, I'm leaving and I'm the shit, so I'm out of here. Laundry says, I don't want them to leave. They are the best characters. Well, they are gone. Wait, we got Mind of the North Star with a $5 super chat support. Thank you very much for the support. Do you think Morgan will ever find out that Rick died? I'd like to see the character reaction, but that seems to be a stretch. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's a stretch. That's something that I'm not going to, get my hopes up on seeing, but if we ever get to see it incorporated into the story, I would like that, I would honestly prefer if Morgan was still around when he died, but look, whatever. Richard said, after watching the season 9 trailer, all I have to say is never mind. Oceanside should have been the Whispers. I'm sorry for suggesting the idea all the time. Yeah, I still don't, maybe that's something you're into. I still don't see how that is even, because again, the Whispers, you want them to show up being unknown. If you show a community and then, they're the bad guy, it would deflate that tension, suspense so much. It would be like, oh, well, it's you, Let me scroll down here. We got a couple other super chat supports. All right, we got a $10 super chat support from Dude Guys. Hey, the video's up. It's 80 seconds long, and I'm just showing fake guns and a drawing of a character. I don't think it'll let me post a link to the video. You might have to check my channel. Yeah. You did a video that is like a fan film. For those who don't remember, Dude Guys is doing a fan film to taking place in the world of my comic book, Doomsday Kingdom, which I give you a lot of props on that. That's going to be a tricky one to do because the world is definitely different, and only, 2 issues released to the public right now. A lot more gets revealed, 10 issues in, 15 issues in, and it's definitely different than your normal zombie story. The atmosphere, the environment, even the zombies are different to a degree, to some degree. Anyway, only Alyssa W. with a $4.99 super chat support. You're correct. VA is a Commonwealth state. The writers are playing with it. Also, I was hoping Morgan would return before Rick left. Love your channel. Thank you very much. Yeah, see, I don't know all the Commonwealth states. I don't know for a fact. I just for some reason, I keep thinking it says Commonwealth of Virginia on that sign. It says Commonwealth real big, and then below it, it says for Virginia. Now, maybe my brain just, made that up because I lived in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. When I say Commonwealth, I just think, okay, it's the Commonwealth of Virginia because they're, Virginia and Washington, D.C. and whatever. They're not like in Georgia. They film in Georgia, but the storyline's taking place in, anyway, you guys know that. But, so I don't know if it's on the banner or my brain just assumed it was. But thank you very much and appreciate the support. Eminem 3DG Tyler with a $5 super chat support. Can you see Daryl and Negan possibly working together in the future? Yeah, to defeat an enemy. Yeah, but I think, and you know what? This goes along with my video, Will Rick Die for Daryl? Do you know how many comments I got from people going, no, that I will be so mad. No, that's so, no, just no. Rick is not going to die saving Daryl or sacrificing himself for Daryl. And I was thinking like, okay, hold on. Either you read the title and assumed that's what I was talking about, or you didn't pay attention or maybe I just messed up and I wasn't clear enough. That's definitely possible. But the idea is not about that at all. Like when Carl died, obviously it's going to affect Rick and Michonne and everyone in the group, right? That doesn't even need explanation. So when I say Carl dies for Negan, Rick dies for Daryl, that doesn't mean no one else in the group is affected by the death. No. That means when Gimple explained, well, why was it time for Carl to die? Well, we needed this thing with Negan's story, yada, yada, yada. So that's why I said that. And I still stick by that. I believe the current state of Daryl is not the character that can take the reins of a leading man for this franchise, for the original show. Again, the current state of Daryl. They need to change Daryl to some degree. He needs to transform into a leader that can be the lead, a successful lead. And I do believe that Daryl being at conflict and at odds with Rick and how Rick goes out is going to show Daryl the way. Maybe Daryl will, and I went over this in the video. If you want to watch that video, I go over it in details, but it'll be a way for Daryl to see what Rick was after, to see where his mind was at, to see how they can pull people together and yada, yada, yada. And that will start to change who Daryl is as a character and how he wants to lead, instead of leading as the Daryl hot-headed and, you know what, we only need our group and screw everyone else. No, he'll respect Rick's vision, and he'll want to lead inspired by Rick and lead somewhat like Rick was leading. You know what I'm saying? So that is more what I'm trying to get at when I'm saying Rick is going to die for Daryl. Not he's going to sacrifice himself. I mean, Rick obviously is going to die for everybody, for the whole community as a whole, I would imagine. Unless they're leaving it open-ended, which I just find so weird if they do that. I don't know. I don't even know if I like that idea. Dude Guys with a $10 chat. Wait, no. Okay, that's the old one. I thought I saw a new one pop up. Anyway. Have I ever seen Prison Break? Yeah, Prison Break, I liked that back in the day. I think I was hooked on that for a few seasons because it was already out, and I binged 4 seasons in a row. Adrian, in the trailer, we see boots with blood dripping down on them. Do you think it could be Rick? Yes. I put that in my other video as well. At this time, I do believe that's Rick. What's going on, guys? Here to bring you another video. This one is going to talk about Rick. He's going to be under a dumpster. Well, probably not. Not this time. I wonder why there was no Dwight in the trailer. Well, I think they're saving him for a reveal because obviously he's not supposed to be around because of Daryl's threat, you know? Why is everyone assuming Rick dies? Well, because Rick said he's not going to be on the show, ever. This is his last season. If he was only leaving for a few episodes, he wouldn't make that announcement. If he was only leaving for this season, he wouldn't make that announcement. So I do feel like it has to be a death, or it has to be a death with the slight possibility that he could end up surviving it. So, like, we see pretty much we get confirmation, okay, that's how he died. Like Walter White. You can bring him back and say he didn't die. You know what I mean? All we saw was he got shot and he was bloody and he fell down. He could definitely survive that. So, I think they might do something where Rick, it appears definitely he dies, but there's a chance he might come back. You know what I mean? If they're gonna go open ended with it. Yeah, I love that. Where are they stuff with the where are they stuff with the whispers at the end? How creepy it was, and I'll be honest, I did not think they were going to do a creepy whisperer voice. I honestly thought they were going to talk like normal people, but whispering. And I love that they went in that direction. Q&A, Last Outlaw said, I feel like the fan base is close to turning on Daryl. I love him, but he's not what he used to be, and he has been frustrating. What do you think? Well, I absolutely agree. And like I said before, that's why I think, Rick is going to die for Daryl. I think whatever happens in the first few episodes is going to have a drastic impact on Daryl, and it will shape how he's going to be a leading man after this, after Rick's death. And Mr. Coconut Squash said that explanation for Carl's death is still bullshit in my opinion. And I agree. I agree absolutely. I still disagree with Carl's death at this point. I'll be honest, I'm fine with it at this point. And I think that's because we're losing Rick and Maggie and everyone else. So at this point, I'm like, it doesn't even matter. But Carl dying for Negan as a writing structure, for me, it still doesn't make any damn sense. That they came to that conclusion. And that's why I strongly believe something else was going on and they needed Carl out. So they said, okay, we need him out. What could be the big reason for him leaving Negan? I think that's their thought pattern, because if you wanted to keep Negan alive like they did in the comic, you would go, okay, what's the most logical way to do this? Future. We want to bring everyone together and work together in the future. How do we do that? By killing all our enemies? No, by taking the one guy who's responsible for all of us going to war and having them defeated and saying, we're not going to gut them in the middle of this battlefield. We're not going to gun them down. We are moving forward with law and order as our own civilization, as our own community, and use Negan as the beacon of if you do something wrong, if you do something bad, if you break our laws, you will be dealt with, whether big or small, and then use that, build a speech off of that. I mean, I think that is way more organic with the story they had already than Carl and his whole, even rewatching it, there's some of it I don't like Negan saying, he didn't know shit. Certain little tidbits, and I don't like it like that. I just think it came off as silly. So much pressure with the Carl storyline just came off as silly. Again, why does Negan even care? He was going to bash his head in. All of it, when I rewatch it, especially when I binge watch it, and he goes to bash Carl's head in, and then he has all these hearts to hearts with Carl afterwards. I'm just like, I must be crazy because none of this makes any damn sense to me. Like, none of it makes any damn sense. Why? He didn't give a damn. He was going to crack his skull open. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Hadn't he not done that? Or if he was just trying to, really torment Rick and he wasn't actually going to bash Carl's head in, it would change a lot for me when I rewatch it. But now when I rewatch it, I feel like, okay, this season, they didn't know they were going to kill Carl, so they went with that lineup. And this season, they had to kill Carl, so that's why it's not, it's not lining up. They messed up. Yeah, we don't do spoilers here. So I see a mod saying if you're posting spoilers, you're just gonna get banned. So don't even do it. We don't do spoilers here. And if you're trying to find out if I'm interested in spoilers, honestly, if you have anything at all that's spoiler related, or even if you're like, hey, do you read spoilers? I'm not even reading your questions out loud because there's just no point. We don't cover them here. If you're new here, yeah. If you're not new here, like I saw someone who's clearly not new here, and there's no reason you should be talking about that in the chat. So I skipped your question straight up. Wait, Daryl Andy Lincoln confirmed he's getting killed off. Daryl Andy Lincoln. I don't know what you're saying. Daryl and Andrew Lincoln? Not that I heard. I don't know if you're asking or what. Your punctuation is like you're drunk. Charm, you asked about season 6 and 7 trailers having 8 million views, and then this season had 3 million views. Does that mean anything? Yes, it means 6 and 7 were uploaded and watched over a longer period of time. Have you went back and looked at the first week of when it was out and compared those numbers, or are you taking something that was out for 2 years and people rewatching it? I rewatched trailers. I must have rewatched each trailer recently like 10 times, mainly because I like to rewatch some of the older trailers, but also because I'm putting together a video based on trailers. Older videos are going to have more views, period. So wait 2 years and then go back and look at how many views season 8 has, or season 9. And then there's your answer. I don't know. I don't think you were thinking before you asked that question, to be honest. Brooke Arnold, did you see the interview where Norman was asked about taking the lead when Andy leaves? He said that it was an internet rumor and he wouldn't be the leader and the females are taking the lead. I did not see that interview, actually. The only interview I saw was something directed at Jeffrey Dean Morgan, a question, and then when it was like quickly shifted to Norman taking over the reins, and he said, oh, no one can take over after Andy, and that was it. They moved right along to something else, but that was the only interview I saw where they talked about him moving up. Brian says, is the death predictions video coming soon? Yeah, now that the trailer's out, I'll probably put out the death prediction video, and we know one's on there, right? Do you think it's possible for Maggie and Rick to die simultaneously? I think it's possible, yeah. I don't think it's likely, though. That's tricky, because if they're going out around the same time. They might as well take them out together. You know what? Damn, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with Maggie, man. That's so odd. I don't know. That's so dumb. Right now, I want to feel like Maggie will be left open-ended because that damn comment they left about, oh, we want her to come back. What does that mean? She has a kid. Is she going to disappear, go away? Is she going on a trip? I don't get it. What are you people saying? Kirby Hughes said, I thought it was okay to predict how things will go down. I don't know who you're talking to. EVHN Gear TV. CA $5 super chat support. Thank you very much for the support. Want to chat with Lou Temple on my show and share your thoughts on season 9. I have no idea who you are, motherfucker. I don't say anything until I look into people. No offense, but let me look into what you're about and all that. I'll write down your name and stuff like that. To be honest, it would be helpful. And I don't mean to be a dick. I'm actually giving like constructive criticism. And I know you only have a limited amount of space. But a little heads up with like what you have. You know what I mean? Is it a podcast? Is it this? Is it that? Like that is super helpful. Because it looks like you have, I guess, some type of podcast. That's probably the best way to go about it. Letting people know what you got going on, Gear TV. I'll look you up and see, bud. Ronnie, did you watch the scene on Sons when Otto bites his own tongue off? Yeah, hell yeah, that was nuts. Negan, the psychopath, said, I was so happy this trailer was nearly 6 minutes long. Yeah. What's going to happen with Judith? What do you think? I think for right now, I think Michonne is going to raise her. Michonne raises her, but someone else at the camp looks after her. I think that'll be about it. And maybe she'll, softly carry the legacy of Rick Grimes for a little bit until, the main story folds out. Because right now, she's not important. Just show her a few times. Her daddy's dead. She misses her daddy. Show some sad scenes like that. And then, after a little bit, when you're in Alexandria, she shows up every now and then. I don't know. I never understood. How do I word it? I never understood fan curiosity to the babies and the kids, because I feel like that's the easiest thing to be dealt with. Or wait, how I'm trying to word this where a lot of fans feel like the kids are so important, but what are they doing with the kids? Kids always get pushed to the side. It's in everything. Movies, TV shows, they're simply going to push Judith to the side, and when she's relevant again, they'll bring her back out. That's it. And I think that is, I'm not saying that as frustration towards the fans. I'm saying that it's a little bit of frustration towards realism on shows and movies, because they're constantly like the most convenient things ever. Kids are a handful. You always got to be around. They're obnoxious, annoying. You know what I mean? Not all the time. But you got to put up with their shit constantly. And here's the thing with TV is it would get annoying to watch that. Like real families who are real kids. That would be obnoxious to watch. But still, it's so clean and neat on TV. You think they would have a little more realism there. We got a $10 super chat support from The Mark Show. If Whisperers actually kill Rick, I think it will be impossible to have greater villains after them. Thoughts? Love the vids. The fact that you also write makes your videos very interesting and informative. Thank you very much. I can write, but I can't read. Thank you very much for the super chat support. And as far as the villains killing them, I do believe that we can always have some bigger, badder, more interesting, more incredible villain. Sure. These villains would just be a certain type of threat that was lucky enough to be in a predicament to kill Rick, because if you look back at previous villains, Negan could have easily killed Rick. He could have killed Rick on day 1. He could have killed Rick on day 2. He could have killed Rick a week later. He's had numerous opportunities to kill Rick. He has failed on a couple tries, but he could have killed him on the day that Abe and Glenn died for sure. So I do think that, even though the Whisperers might be the ones to kill him, they might not be the most, badass villains we're ever going to get. White Wolf with a $5 super chat support. Hey, Ronnie, there were sightings of John Bernthal around Sonoy where they are filming. Do you think we'll see Shane again as... Yes, I do. Absolutely. I do think they even confirmed that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they even confirmed that he will be in one scene at least. Deja Vu. Do you think the sound editor is bad? Nobody could hear the whispers unless TV sound is cranked up. Happens a lot. No, absolutely not. I watched it on my phone with headphones in, and once I noticed it, you know what I'm saying? Which I think it was like the second or third time I watched it. It's clear as day, and it's loud enough. It is there, but it's done, in my opinion, perfect, where it's not something you should notice the first time. If you do, you caught it nice, but it's not something you should notice the first time. If you notice it, if it sticks out, in my opinion, I think they did a terrible job. So no, I disagree with that. I think that's something that someone should just notice for a number of different reasons, and they say something, and then they tell other people, and then it gets around. Other people rewatch it, and they pick up on it. I think they did a great job with it. Barbara said, should Maggie and Glenn's baby be called Herschel like in the comics, or Glenn to pay homage to one of the best TV characters? I'm good with either or, to be honest with you. Either or I'm good with. Miriam Gaines, I definitely think I'm done. Well, here's one thing. I feel like it made more sense in a comic book, just because of the different characters and the connections. In the TV show, if it is, Glenn Jr., I honestly think that would be make a little more sense. But it will probably be Herschel. Miriam Gaines, I definitely think I'm done since Halloween night of 2010. I've been faithful every Sunday. The Walking Dead was on, but it's apparent AMC and the majority of the actors put money above the fan base. The fan base. I'll say right off the bat, I agree that AMC does. I think that's clear by the budget, the problems with contract negotiations. As far as the majority of the actors, I don't agree with that. I haven't seen anything come out that screams they want money. You know what I'm saying? I can't even remember an actor that wanted a ridiculous amount of money and caused problems. If that's out there, refresh my memory. But yeah, I don't agree with that. Maggie just wanted a bump, and from what we hear, we don't know if this is true, but from what we hear, it was to fit, how much she should be getting, which is a normal thing in the industry. Show goes up, everyone behind the scenes is getting filthy rich. The actors are going to get a pay bump, because now they're bigger, now they got a fan base, now they're important. It just makes sense. Everyone else is making more money, so that the talent should as well. As far as Rick, I know I keep seeing that, like Rick wanted more money or something. I don't think any of that is true. I do believe that relationships fell apart, and hell, it just wasn't same for him, and maybe he wanted to be around his family, and I'm assuming that is absolutely true. There's a good portion of that. Kids are growing older, you're missing out on a lot, so... But I still, and I could be totally wrong, but I still feel like there's just something behind the scenes that didn't line up. Playcrastation. Q&A. In an interview that I saw today, Lauren Cohan accidentally let slip that Maggie's fate will be left open-ended. Think she'll get exiled in some way or get a Michonne-esque storyline. I wouldn't blame her for leaving it open-ended. I mean, Angela Kang, the showrunner, already came out and said, we'll have her back if she's allowed, which means, it's open-ended. Which, I'll be honest, I still sometimes feel like she's just saying that and she's going to die, but it's just me being frustrated because of all the rumors and leaks. I think I would be happier if they just focused on the Rick thing, let us know ahead of time, like this is his last season, and then for the other leaks, they just finally get a hold of what's going on at that damn place and stop all the rumors from getting out so early. Do you think Jesus will have significant more impact? I fucked that up. Do you think Jesus will have a significantly more impactful role in season 9? I think he's gonna have pretty much what he's been getting, to be honest. Hold on, I want to double check. Dude guy says I missed a super chat. Let me see. Yeah, I think Jesus is going to get pretty much what he's been getting. I wouldn't mind if he got a little more, to be honest. I think he can use a little more. Dude, guys, if you want to see it, click on my channel, and it's a video called Video for Ronnie Hayes, pre-production on my first indie film. I'll check it out, bud. I'll check it out. I got to wait till after a live stream because the internet's not that good to play it twice. I could try, but I just don't want to mess up the live stream. Desmond Miller with a $1.99 super chat support. How do you feel about Magna in the trailer? I'll be honest, the character's appearance, the hair screamed Magna, but her appearance right away didn't quite hit it for me. I don't know. And But I do think there's absolute potential there. It was just like the first appearance, I was like, oh, okay, that's not quite what I was. It's like when I saw Jesus for the first time, I was like, okay, this could go the right way, but I was expecting a way different Jesus than this, you know. I just want to check the super chat here. I think I missed some. Mr. Sir with a $2 super chat support. Is Sons of Anarchy worth it? I'm in season 1, but it's 7 long seasons. Oh, I think you're nuts. Yes, first off, yes, it's worth it. But when I see something that's like 7 seasons long or 8 seasons long, I get excited. Because if I like it, oh my God, I got 7 seasons to binge. You know what I'm saying? Vonda Martin with a $15 super chat support. I have never donated, and that is a shame. Since I love your channel, let me read it over here because it's bigger. Since I love your channel so much, do you think just losing Maggie and Rick will be enough to change Daryl? No way. He is capable of leadership as he is. Well, thank you very much for donating and keeping the channel alive. As for losing Maggie and Rick, I think that's definitely enough for Daryl to grow as a leader. Absolutely. It depends on how they structure it, but I definitely think it's enough. It's probably more than enough. Just Rick alone, in my opinion. Even though, or just like Norman Reedus in real life is best friends with Andrew Lincoln, Rick Grimes and Daryl Dixon in the show world are tied as well, even though they butt heads. You know what I'm saying? I think that's enough to inspire him to be the leader that Rick was trying to be, or something similar. He doesn't have to be like a Rick carbon copy, but what I'm saying is he can rethink his decisions. Even though Daryl is hot tempered, he's constantly been shown to think critically about things. Look right away with his tracking skills, and he instantly knew Shane was screwing up. Or up to something. And if you rewatch that, he knew instantly. So I think there's definitely enough there to have him grow into an impressive leadership role. You know what I mean? With the Daryl flaws, relying on other people, like some of the females there, for example, Carol. He's close to Carol, getting advice from her, Michonne as well. I think everyone pitching in to help out with him remaining the leader of the or the leading drive like Rick was for the fan base and the show as well. It could work. Justin Valdi, $9.99 super chat support. Thank you very much for that support. I think the lady who gave plans to Maggie is on the chopper, and Maggie goes with them to be introed to the mysterious New World Order. Then that comes later, seasons later, after Maggie gets a break or a raise. The only problem I have with that is if the writers don't know when she'll be back, they can't put her in a storyline or set her up with a storyline that we know will connect next season or the season after that. Because if she can't come back, then you just put her in the New World Order storyline, and she's not going to be there. So I think if they leave it open-ended, it has to be a way where there's a back door where you can explain why she's not, with the New World Order if she can't, be there by that time. So, and again, I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it. Do you think Jesus will... Let me scroll down. I already read that. The Walking Dead Telltale Games sequel series, or will they continue the main series beyond Clem? I think it's done. I'm pretty sure they announced, Skybound at Telltale Games is done, right? I'm almost positive. Maybe they just mean with Clem's story. This is supposed to be it from Clem, from what I'm, taken from the promotional material and the interviews and stuff. This is it. This is the end of her journey. If they say this is the end of her journey and they come out with some other type of story beyond Clem that involves Clem, If it involves other people, okay, yeah, that's always possible. But I'm not sure what you're getting at now. I don't know if you mean like Clem and other people around Clem. I took it as this is it. The Walking Dead and Telltale Games, like they're done after this. They might come up with something new later on, but as far as Clem and these characters, this is it. Ali says, "Hey Ronnie, is Commonwealth villains? At this time, we don't know." Wait, we got a $5 dono from Eminem 3DG Tyler. I just wanted to say the most underrated part of the trailer was Daryl hitting some fool with a pot. That shit was funny. Yeah, that shit was funny. He was like, Carol's like, Daryl, no, or something like that. He's like, oh, I ain't done. Ding. Fear trailer looks awful. I didn't get it. Doesn't AMC care about Fear? Why aren't they even trying? I disagree. Which part do you think looked awful? I mean, I'll admit the story doesn't look like it has much substance, but I'm being hopeful that they're not showing us or revealing too much, that they're leaving stuff hidden. Because right now, to be honest, the trailer looks like they got separated again. You know what I mean? And some of them are hiding out in a house near where they last saw each other, while the others are looking for the, you know what I mean? So the trailer made it seem like this. They're together. There's a storm. They get separated. Some of them go in a house. They stay put because they want to run into Alicia and the other girl. And Alicia and the other girl, we're following her as she comes back around, and they link up together again after a few episodes. So substance-wise, the only thing I was excited about in that regard was the storm. I'm like, natural disaster, yeah. But again, I'm being hopeful that they're keeping the story hidden, which would be awesome, so we're not spoiled. So, but I thought it looked good. Again, if there's no substance, if that's what it really is, if they're really hidden and that's why we didn't see any substance in the trailer, yeah, I'll be disappointed, like, big time. But I don't think they would do that. There's a lot of pressure to make Fear the Walking Dead good again. So don't know if anyone has asked this yet, but do you think Rosita and Eugene are dead? No. No. They were in the trailer because we need that introduction that something is out there. You know what I mean? And you can't have them dead for that. I mean, you can. But the way they do it, I would imagine it's going to be similar. Not the same, not identical, but similar, close to the comic book. So I don't believe killing them would get the same vibe across. I think they would need to survive that first encounter at least. Fidel Garcia. Hey Ronnie, first time ever watching your live stream on time, LOL. Would you want Beta to be kept a mystery like in the comics? I personally didn't care about that. I'll be honest. I thought that was a comic book gimmick that didn't work at all. And I believe you're talking about he doesn't like people looking at his face shit, right? I thought that failed miserably, and I don't want that on the show at all. Yeah, I could care less about that. Just keep him being what he is. You know, well, not really, but he's like the Jason Voorhees of The Walking Dead. He's big, you know, he's demented. he's following his mommy. Not really, but he's got his machetes, his 2 machetes or whatever they are. I would rather him be kept, you know, touched to a degree and leave him as simply that. I don't want to dive in with this huge... I want Beta to just be touched, you know? I don't want this whole big backstory for him. Maybe you can give us something on Alpha, sure. But Beta, I just want him to be one of those guys where he just transformed into this, you know? And that's just how it is. I'm just going to listen to your voice like a podcast because I can't stand watching your wrong lips. Is the sound off or something? It shouldn't. I don't have anything running now that would desync the video and the sound. So if you're getting that, it's on YouTube's end. What's going on with the sound? It keeps going on and off. Nothing's on my end. I've Lucille'd Ronnie Hayes live stream tonight. Oh, Negan said that. Alright, what is going on? Yeah, people are saying the audio and the video is off. Guys, yeah, I can't do that. I know some people are like, yeah, check your microphone. It's not the microphone, guys. It's whenever YouTube is processing, they're not processing the video as fast as the audio is coming out. I have no control over that. On my OBS, everything's lined up in sync and everything's fine. Even on the studio that I'm watching, like everything's going without missing a beat. By the time it goes over into YouTube, how it's coming out of YouTube, it's a delay. The audio and video is a delayed. So it looks like it's a YouTube issue. And when I'm looking at the stream health, there's no issues with the stream health either. So this is definitely a YouTube issue. YouTube's doing a lot, man. So once in a while, you're going to get stuff that's just not perfect, you know? We're at our hour mark anyway. We're about to shut it down. So perfect timing if we're getting syncing issues anyhow. Yeah, we're just going to get to shut it down. I'll be honest. I don't want to get 5,000 comments saying the audio and video is off. It's YouTube. It's out of my control. Hopefully I'll give it a quick Google after this and just see if there is anything I can do on my end for any future. Like I said, I don't think we've had technical issues in the past, but we've never had anything like the audio and the video is delayed. That's never happened before. In 2 years of streaming on YouTube, I don't think that's ever happened before on this channel. The video is fine. The audio is the one that's delayed. Well, how would you know if the audio is delayed? I guess you're yeah. No, I personally don't think Rick and Morgan will see each other again. I'm going to take the last couple questions though, so we can get out of here before we get a lot of lag at the end of the stream, you know. Miss Underwood. All right, maybe after Rick dies, Daryl is witness to Maggie's death or shunning. He had grown very attached to her and the next little ass kicker. Now we really get invested and attached to Daryl. You know what? Personally, I can't see Maggie being shunned. I can't see them ever doing that. They're building a civilization here to throw a woman out with her newborn child. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Not in a million years. Imagine following, characters like Michonne if they kicked her out like that. That would be crazy. Never. So I am curious. I don't know if they're going to get rid of her and her kid. It's so weird. Again, it's just so weird. I don't know. But I'm definitely curious to see how they pull that off. Todd Murray says, in the trailer, it's shown how they got the wagon from the museum. Can you think of anything else that could be helpful to them, maybe even involving the fair? Well, at this time, I don't think they're doing the fair. I think it would be nice, but I don't think they're doing the fair, at least not in the beginning, like how I pictured how it would be, very similar to the comic book. But yeah, that's something I didn't bring up in the what did you miss, because it's obvious now. They went there for equipment and stuff, scavenging. I just don't know why everyone was there. I think maybe right now it looks like we're rebuilding our community, so every community needs to be present to help put work in. And I think it's pretty obvious from the trailer, so I didn't really touch on that. But yeah, it's neat seeing where they got the wagon from. Howling Wolf. Does it seem like Fear Season 4, the guy in a wheelchair looked like he will die this season? Do you think he and the woman with him came from a recently fallen community? Well, I don't know about a recently fallen community, but I did feel like, she's been assisting him, from the start. As far as will he be a character that will die this season? I don't know. To me, I feel like it's up in the air a little bit, No, Juliet's not on the Wi-Fi in the other room. She's actually sitting right here. No. Just playing. We have a little game on the phone, like a ball game where it comes down and you got to move the helix jump. Is that what it's called? Or what? You're doing your hair?
Huh?
And what were you doing? Your hair wasn't like that a few minutes ago. What do you mean no?
Yeah, I just did my hair.
You just did your hair?
I've been under there.
It looks nice.
I just popped it on.
Yeah.
I'm recording on the gallery thingy camera.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm watching it back.
Oh, yeah. She's playing with my cell phone. She's recording videos and stuff.
I don't think they're deaf. They can hear me.
Yeah. All right, let me see. PG with a $4.99 super chat support. Is that, how do you get your name to say PG? Or is that a different account? I think I'm losing my mind. What's up, bro? What did you think of Fear trailer overall? I liked the Fear trailer. I liked it. Again, I thought it was missing some substance story-wise, but I'm hoping that they're just keeping that hidden so that way we have a lot to witness when we watch it again, Thank you very much for the super chat, though. Appreciate that, bud. Oh, I just hit the damn microphone. Awesome bread. Yeah, it's bread. How big of a role will the helicopter play, in your opinion? That's another one I'm not sure about. I don't think it's going to be huge, but I think it will have, let's say the helicopter will span like 2 or 3 episodes. It'll have that type of role. Like maybe like the Wolves, where it's lingering in multiple episodes, and then it has like its one or two main episodes, and that's about it. Negan says, but we need Alpha at the fair to lead into the heads on pikes. Not really. If you're remixing it, all you need to do is, okay, fair, lots of people, heads on pikes. All right, we have everyone working, and they're working in a location with a camp outside. Now you have a more, I feel, realistic way to pull everyone. Like for a comic book, you need to keep it simple. The fair, I thought, was a great touch, to be honest, for that point in time. But imagine a fair, there's a lot of back and forth with multiple people. If everyone's out in a 1 day and night period, you can be picking people off one by one as they venture out into the woods. You're already right there. So all you need to do is write the story around that. The different groups are outside working. They pick them off one by one. Then they call for the leader. The leader comes out. They bring the leader over here and they say, hey, look at da-da-da. And we made a border. Don't come across the border, because now we see that they're making roadways to go to different communities or fixing the roads. So maybe they're starting to go in different territories that they weren't in before. And once they do, that's when they run into the Whispers and yada, yada, yada. It makes sense. Eugene is the one supervising the construction and all that. So it makes, again, I'm going to put all this in a video. I have my breakdown video coming. So all this is going to be in there. But let's wrap this up. I don't want the last half of this to be all out of sync. So Juliet, did you just DM someone on Instagram?
What?
Did you just message somebody on Instagram?
What is DM?
DM means message.
No.
Are you sure?
I was on the camera.
Somebody said that you just messaged them on Instagram.
Message on what?
I don't know. If she has my phone, it would be on my Instagram.
I'm on the camera thing.
Oh, all right. She's saying she didn't. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who to believe. Vonda Martin with a $5 super chat support. What toys is Juliet really into now? About time to send another gift. Oh, yikes. Juliet's been obsessed with Fortnite, so good luck.
All I want is money for V-Bucks.
Oh, hush now. This kid. All she wants is V-Bucks. That's, for those who don't know, there's a video game, and then they have like the online currency that you buy. It's called V-Bucks, and then you can take the V-Bucks and buy like silly dances for her character to do, or silly outfits and stuff. Oh, it's I can't wait for Fortnite to die. No, to be honest, it's great because I just cooked dinner, mac and cheese from scratch. It took me like an hour and a half, and I said, "Go play the game." Get out of my hair.
30 minutes.
Yeah, it takes an hour and a half altogether because I grate all the cheese and I make the actual cheese sauce from scratch. So, but baking it doesn't take long. Baking it's only 30 minutes. Is it possible that Maggie could join Fear somehow? I don't think so. Spin 2020 with a $5 super chat that I missed said the sound is not synced to your voice. Yeah. We're gonna shut it down. Like I said, that is YouTube's issue, and I will look into it to see if there's anything at all I can do on my end to fix that. Any last questions? Mary Hugh said, "Do you think Eugene and Rosita will step up this season and maybe become part?" No, I don't think they're going in that direction with them. Like Daryl and Carol, Eugene butt heads with Daryl in a trailer, and Rosita's getting more screen time. Wait, you mean like Daryl and Carol as in close buds? I think there's definitely a possibility to have them have some type of friendship relationship bond like that, but I don't think it'll be like in the comic books where they were a couple. I don't think they'll go that direction.
They're flirting with each other.
Yeah. Is it possible that Maggie could join Fear somehow? I read that twice somehow. I don't think that's possible. Because keep in mind, Maggie's leaving because they wouldn't pay her. It's not like, it's just not anything else. That's an open issue. So if they're not going to pay her, why in the world would she go to Fear the Walking Dead? You know what I'm saying? I know we're trying to stay hopeful, but it's a money issue at this point. So she'll come back when they'll pay her, I feel. Helen Wolf, did you notice the actor who plays James Cole in 12 Monkeys TV show? I never saw the show. Isn't Fear the Walking Dead trailer out of one apocalypse and into another? Did you throw something? I just cleaned this office. You better not have thrown anything.
When did I throw something? I never threw anything.
Charm actually asked a good question. Do you think the show was at its best when it focused on the people versus the zombies and not the people versus people? This gets tricky because I think the show's at its best when it's a well balance of people versus zombies and people versus people. You know what I mean? I hate it when the show is only people versus zombies and only people versus people, because I'll tell you right now, it is severely underbalanced because when it's people versus zombies, the zombies are so threatening, and it's such a like you get Maggie wrestling with the zombie, and I know they made one thing where Maggie's hand got stuck in a rotted zombie, and you make okay, but when it's people versus zombies, the zombies are so tricky to kill and yada yada yada. But when it's people versus people and they come across a zombie, Daryl's like killing 20 zombies in 1 second. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a very poor unbalance there that needs to be corrected, where even when it's people versus people, there's still zombie threats, real threats, not just here's okay, done, because that's what it comes down to. And I think that's having it unbalanced is what hurts the show. It's not one or the other is better. It's the unbalance of the threat is what hurts it. How will Negan react to Rick's death? I think he'll be disappointed. He should be. He kind of I don't know. He kind of maybe will, if they're going the redemption route, obviously. Maybe look at him as a guy who didn't deserve going out like that, or maybe he's just like, it's a damn shame that he went out like that, something like that. Do you think we'll ever see a racetrack in a world of The Walking Dead? They film near a road. I mean, we may see, in a post-apocalyptic racetrack, sure. All right. Last, I'm trying to look for.
Someone said the sound is off for them.
Yeah, we're done. I'm looking for the last 2 or 3 questions, and then we're gonna shut her down. Charmander, you asked this question like 7 times. I have no interest to answer it, but I'm gonna answer it just to get you to stop asking it. To be honest, you're talking about DC movies. I could care less about DC and the movies they make. To be honest, I could care less really about Marvel, except for every now and then there's ones I actually really enjoy. DC movies suck because they suck at making DC movies. Period. They just don't know what the hell they're doing. Period. There's some stuff that actually looks interesting, but everything I have ever seen from DC so far, it's just terrible. Suicide Squad's embarrassment. Justice League. I know there's people that like those movies. I get it, but Justice League, the Superman stuff, all just embarrassments. Having Doomsday Kingdom. This is how embarrassing it is. Doomsday Kingdom. Oh my God. The Doomsday Monster was the Doomsday Monster. And they did such a shitty job. I just seen an article the other day where the guy who screwed that up is like, but that wasn't the real Doomsday Monster. It's like, come on, Hollywood. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, just so stupid. So stupid. Anyway, they're not hiring the right people for the job. Plain and simple. Nuno says, hey man, props from Portugal here. What do you think will be the story for Zach McGowan's character? Well, at this time, a problematic savior. That's what I'm getting from the trailer. What kind of spin-off would you like to see with who and why? Prequel, present, future, a spin-off? Anything with Snow at this point. And no one connected with anything we've already seen. All new characters and Snow. Tanner, what do you think this year's special edition Blu-ray will be for Season 8? I predict it will be the Toxic Walker from 802. That's likely because they did do the Tree Walker, they did the Melting Walker in Season 5 with the bombs, acid, or whatever, and then the Walker with the skin that ripped off in the truck, and then the Winslow Walker. So I do feel like it'll be something along that lines. I don't remember how creative the Walker was that Jadis had at the junkyard. They may go that route. I'm trying to think. Didn't it have like, remember she was going to feed it to Rick? It was like Winslow too. Or the one she was going to have eat Negan. There's 2 of them. So either one of those or the acid walkers. I think all of those, if done right, could be a good pick. All right, last question. Let's make it a good one. Has it been confirmed? Is Rick leaving in the first or second half of the season? The trailer makes it look like it's the first half, but I really hope they hold out until the season finale. I don't think it's been confirmed when he's leaving, but I think it's heavily implied that it's going to be in the first half. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about what exact episode yet, but if you want to think mid-season finale, I mean, that's hell of a pick. They usually do stuff like that, in the mid-season finales. Let's go. Shock moment, show video. All right, I'm trying to look for a good question to finish it off, but let me get out of here. Shut it, come on. Just don't poke out my eyeballs. You almost poked me in the eye. No, I'm not putting that on me. Daddy's a boy. Boys don't wear those.
No, like this.
I'm looking for a Walking Dead one. I don't. Someone's asking if I play Grand Theft Auto. Listen, I love Grand Theft Auto. I would play it a lot, but having timed missions, the first time I get to a time mission, I'm rage quitting. I hate time missions. I think it is the worst, the absolute dumbest shit you can put in a Grand Theft Auto game. Don't time me driving across the map. It's like you suck at your job and have no creative, thinking whatsoever skills. So you're like, let's set a timer because that's fun. So yeah, I love Grand Theft Auto, but I never play them because I cannot tolerate timers.
Tara sounds like this.
What? Is Tara looking like Tara's going to outlast Rick? It's ludicrous. Is that what we're talking about?
Just don't read his username. That's inappropriate.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to kick him out. Here's a Walking Dead question. Golden Jet said, what do you think of Rick being bitten and whoever is in the helicopter saying they think they can help and taking him with them? I don't know. I just haven't accepted him leaving yet. Again, here's my thing. If he was leaving and if it was going to be so open-ended, I kind of feel like they wouldn't be saying he's gone. They wouldn't confirm that. When Andrew Lincoln comes out and says this is my last season, I don't think, oh, okay, he might come back next season. He might come back in 2 seasons. No, he's gone. Like he's dead and gone. That's how I see it. That's it. But yeah, let's roll. We're getting a lot more people saying the audio is off. I don't know what YouTube is doing, but I definitely will look it up again to see if there's anything at all I can do on my end. But let's shut it down. Remember, every Sunday night at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, the content for The Walking Dead is going to start picking up more and more. And Fear the Walking Dead is what? I mean, what? 3 weeks? No, I forget when Fear comes back. I know it's next month, so damn, for the life of me, I forget what day it is. I keep thinking of the 7th, but that's October 7th for The Walking Dead. All right, it doesn't matter. Fear the Walking Dead is coming back in like 2 or 3 weeks, so we're going to be discussing every episode when it returns. Until then, we're going to be discussing any information that comes out about The Walking Dead and other stuff that might arise, like new shows or new zombie stuff. But I'm going to get going. Thank you guys for the Super Chat support. Thank you guys for the Patreon support. Thanks to all the mods coming out, holding it down. And what did you want to say?
And if you guys have Fortnite...
No.
Friend me, Julia A's, capital J, capital A.
Or Fortnite, jeez. I thought she was going to ask for V-Bucks. That's why I was like, no, you're not doing it. But she was just saying, she was just saying that, friend me on Fortnite. She's looking for people to play duos and squads with because she sucks. She's trying to get 10 kills.
Yes, that's my friend helped me get 7, but I just couldn't get 3.
Well, she has a 9 kill right now. That's like the 9. What is it called?
Kill quarter.
It's kill quota, I think.
Kill quarter.
No, kill quarter doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to think. The most amount of kills she had in one game. It's not kill quarter because a quarter doesn't make any sense. A quarter is 25% of something. That just doesn't make it. Maybe there's a quarter I'm not thinking of, like quarters, like where you hold somebody.
Kill count.
Kill count. There we go. That's even better. Yeah, her top kill count is 9 right now. So.
See, I just gave you a new word. You learn something new every day.
Oh, Vonda, you're sweet. Honestly, I have no idea. She said I wanted to give her V-Bucks. How can I do that? I absolutely appreciate that, but I have no idea, to be honest.
All you have to do is send us money.
No, shush. It's connected to the PlayStation account and then the Fortnite account, and I don't know if there's any, and I don't believe there's any type of gifting service. So
it's okay. Just
maybe eventually.
Just send me $10. That's it.
That is enough.
$10.
I'll get her V-Bucks from you, though. I will, because there's nothing set up. So I will go ahead and grab her some V-Bucks from you. No, get out of here. But I honestly do appreciate the offer. Yo, Hayes, have come to terms with losing Rick. Hold on, let me scroll down. I believe this could be an amazing, powerful season. I believe Rick will give it his all because it's his last season. Thoughts? Oh, I think Andrew Lincoln's going to kill it. I think he's going to kill it on the way out. I agree with that. Absolutely. Stop streaming. I agree with you. I think he's going to give the performance of his lifetime. Absolutely. But again, guys, thank you everyone for coming out. Put your thoughts and opinions about what we discussed. Do you think the fans will leave when Rick Grimes does? I'll be honest, I already feel like a good 20-25% of the fan base is out of here. You know what I mean? I really do. Julia is 8 now. She's 8. Someone said, "How old is Juliet?" They could barely get 1 kill on Fortnite, and you got 9. She plays it too much anyway. All right, good night, guys. Be safe. I'll see you this week. Listen, we got a big week coming up, so I'm gonna get going because I just remembered I gotta prep something for this week. Big week. All right, love you guys. Take care.